Greetings. It's your buddy, your pal, your friend, your teacher, and your guide, ABW. So the question comes to me a lot about routines, about habits, for a number of things. I have my hands on a lot of things, but different habits and routines that will take you further to to success, to whatever your worthy ideal, whatever your goal is. Now, when it comes to women, when it comes to attracting women, when it comes to having to being in a relationship, if we want to talk about relationships, when it comes to being the ideal man, being a man that is that has integrity and has a leg to stand on, that has leverage, has you know uh, adequate tools in their toolbox, equity, value, all of these things. That is created. That is a bundle of energy that has been created. You accumulate that energy over time to where you're attracting money, you're attracting women, you're attracting the right kind of energy, the right kind of vibe, the right kind of spirits from other people. That could be in relationships, that can be in business and personal relationships, or platonic, or whatever. And I found the best habit. I mean, we can drill down different habits. I have routines. Maybe we'll talk about that at a different time. But the general principle, we always talk about general principle, is to be in motion. That's be about as simple as I could say it. Be a man in motion. Um, if you're prone to be an apathetic person, if you like to lounge, I don't know. Maybe and everybody's wired different. I'm the type of person, I just can't sit still. I just can't not be doing anything. And I think that has helped me a lot. And it's just plugging away at different things until something pops, until something, or it could be just a productive way to pass time. Somebody that I admire in history is Leonardo da Vinci. Of course, TV or anything wasn't invented back then, but I guarantee you, if it was, Leonardo da Vinci would not spend time being a couch potato. He had his hands in so many different things. A lot of it was hobby like. A lot of it was more on a passion. He did things for just out of pure commerce and industry and trying to make money, business. But he's somebody that I admire. He was a man in motion. I don't know what his love life was like. I've read about that, and hey, that's his whatever. But point is, being a man in motion has proven to be almost pheromonic. I don't know if that's a word. Pheromonic. You've heard of pheromones. Pheromones are not so much scents, but they're vibes that you put out. And this is very much proven scientifically and everything, that there's pheromones, there are vibes that you put out that can attract. It's very prevalent. It's really been studied in the animal kingdom. You dog. I don't know if dog lovers. If when a dog goes into heat, it sends this radiates this signal, and humans have that too, pheromones. And so it's pheromonic when you. It's been at least proven for me, and a lot of people that I've observed, when you are moving and again, when women aren't just your main preoccupation, and if they're kind of a back burner, or there's kind of a side note to whatever you're pursuing. If you're in school, you're studying, you're working out, you have some type of club that you're a part of, or you have different hobbies. You're drilling down on reading a book, or you're developing some new habit. You're developing a meditation schedule, something like that. I don't know. You're a man in motion, though. You're at the library. You're meeting people. You're networking. You're marketing. your business or whatever you're doing. I'm trying to motivate you, and I can't tell you what your passion or whatever you should be doing, but whatever you're doing, evaluate what you're doing. Are you doing enough? Are you writing down what you're doing? Are you writing down your schedule? Are you filling your time? Idle time is such a robber. It's such a thief of your future, of success. Having that idle time, it might seem harmless at the time. You might want to evaluate it and just start going and really evaluating the concept of delayed gratification. It can be just simply gratifying to sit there after, especially after if you're working a regular 9 to 5. It can be gratifying to just simply sit there on the couch and do nothing and be mindless. But think about the only way you'll be able to get out of that 9 to 5 if you're working your mind towards something different. And so that's just something to think about. But to tie it back all in, that's all of that energy that you're using. And there is a time for rest. That's a biblical thing. Just a principle of nature that the rest is needed. It's essential. But how much rest do you need? You know, think about your sleeping patterns. Think about your sleeping schedule. I'm trying to get you to find some motivation to maybe, amp it up. Whatever you're doing, if you feel like you're doing enough and you're getting results, that's fine. But never be complacent. Always be in evaluation mode. Always be reviewing what you're doing. Keep good records of what you're doing. You're writing. If anything, you're writing your story all along. I love the fact that I can go back and, journal entries that I've made and just writing down what I've done throughout the day. One particular day, one special day was a day that I got up and real early. I always get up early on a Saturday, and I was out searching for properties. I was doing real. I was in real estate mode, and I was searching for properties. I was talking to a couple of people about some deals, and it was just I was listening to some personal development tapes, and it was just a good day. I just remember that day vividly, and I just knew it was going to be a good day, and I've since then made the contacts that I made that day have been fruitful for me now, just now popping up and being fruitful for me now. And this particular day that I'm thinking about, I wrote down what I did, and then my second daughter was actually born that day, and I wrote that down. And I said she was born and she's gorgeous, and that might seem corny, but it's just something that I appreciate that I actually wrote down. I took the time to write down because I can't get that time back. I can't go back and write it down because it won't have the same impact because it was in the moment and what it did. And it's always a part of growing. You can't grow from what you can't evaluate. And to tie it all back in, and again, if you notice with me, the overall theme with anything when it comes to being a Mack, don't get the term Mack messed up. A Mack is a man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge. And the only way you're going to acquire that is by being a man in motion. It's by doing things. It's by exploring and taking a huge chunk out of life, not nibbling, not taking bite-sized nibbles, but taking a chunk out of life and really getting after it. Past few years, it seems like the death has just been accelerating, and I've seen it around me personally, in celebrities and everything, and it just, I don't know, it's gloomy a little bit. It can be morbid, but it should be light a fire on their ass. Like, man, come on, let's get after it while we can, because at the end of the day, it's all for nothing anyway. Whether you're sitting there letting the time pass or whether you're, getting your hands dirty and everything, it really is all for nothing. But I mean, consider the alternative. If the more you're doing, the more of a who doesn't want to leave some type of legacy. If anything, this life is not about you. This life is about somebody else that you can touch. And I know I'm getting a little bit out of course of attraction for women, but everything that encompasses, that spirit encompasses of being a growing man, a growing person, a progressive person. That is the ultimate. That's the ultimate aphrodisiac. That is, again, my word, pheromonic. That's the energy that you encompass. That's the energy that attracts women. That's the energy that keeps your relationship. Because for you guys that are in relationships, you know that if you've been with your wife or your loved one, your lover for any amount of time, you're not the same person. She's not the same person. So if you want to keep her interest, you got to constantly be growing. She's if she's not growing, she's going in some kind of direction. I don't know. It depends on who she is, but she's going in some direction that's different from where she started with you. And if you want to continue to have fulfilling moments, have a fulfilling relationship with her, you got to be growing. You got to be a man in motion. That's how the finances are going to keep rolling in. That's how that's how she's going to continue to look at you like like a man wants to be looked at. like like anybody wants to be looked at by their significant other. Like you will be the man that uh that women desire. That's always a good feeling. I mean, who doesn't want to be that guy? But it's got to be for all the right reasons. And it's got to be in perspective. I never want to promote the message of being a player. I've been a player, and it's not where it's at. If I'll encourage any guy, especially a young guy, to enjoy themselves. Enjoy yourselves. Live it up. Have your lay of the land when it comes to women. But if you find that one, make it right with her. Lock her down, and love her. Uh, love her as hard as you can, as best as you can. But again, I just wanted to preach real quick by being a man in motion. This is your boy, your friend, your ace, your buddy, your guide, your teacher, ABW. Sayonara. Haishimai. Good night. And goodbye to all.